Hey everyone. So reading music is, or being able to read music is something that can be valuable for musicians. And so I'm going to lay out an aspect of reading music and hope that this will kind of get the ball rolling for you. I thought about different ways to do this, and I'm not sure that this is the best way for me to explain it. So it's possible I'm going to redo this video. But if it is helpful for you guys, I'll definitely leave it up. But I want to also preface this by saying that reading music isn't a necessary, or being able to read music is not a necessary skill to be a great musician, a good musician. One of my favorite guitar players is Wes Montgomery, and he played incredible, as anybody knows that's listened to him, and he didn't know how to read music. Jimi Hendrix didn't know how to read music. The list goes on. But there's plenty of great musicians that did know how to read music, and it was valuable for them to be able to do that. I'll just kind of list a few things that are the benefits of being able to read. One is you can write down your ideas in musical notation, and actually, let me just see. So, like, here's an example of, I have hundreds and hundreds of pages of my own compositions written down in standard notation, and the thing about it is, it gives you the specific rhythms and obviously the specific notes, and so it preserves the idea. I mean, some of the ideas I have in my notebooks go back, 10 years ago or so, and I can just pull out the notebook, look at it, and play it. And so it's a great way to preserve ideas that you might have, compositional ideas, or maybe it's an improvisational idea that you come up with and write it down, and it becomes composition. Anyway, so that's one benefit. Another benefit is obviously being able to play other people's music immediately. You can open up a songbook and just read through it. It really helps you to understand where the notes are on your instrument, in this case the guitar, and it helps you to understand rhythm. That's a big one. That's one of the big benefits that you get from learning how to read, is understanding rhythms in a very specific way, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. Yeah, so there's a few ideas right there, or a few of the benefits that you get. And another benefit that I just thought of is harmony-melody relationships. So when you understand how to read, you can really understand, if you see a note, how that relates to the chord. So like I said, I'm just going to proceed with the way that I think is going to be helpful, and if it's not, I might end up, like I said, redoing this video at some point. But let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, if this is just, turning out to be just too confusing, or if there's additional aspects of this that you'd like me to get to. I'd be happy to either answer them in the comment section or start another video, or do another video. Okay, so basically, let me get this close here. Let's start with the notes on the actual, so there's 5 lines, okay, and there's 4 spaces. Let's just kind of focus on that for a moment. So on the 5 lines are these 5 notes here, okay, and just trying to get it zoomed in here. Okay, so a common way to memorize the notes that are on the lines, yeah, the lines represent notes, I don't know if I said that, but is every good boy deserves fudge. Another one is every good boy does fine. Whatever, it's just a saying to help memorize the notes on the lines. Okay, and then the spaces represent F-A-C-E, which spells out the word face. So that's pretty easy to remember. And let's see here. Okay. down here is the note C, which is middle C. Okay, and right below the first line here is the note D. So I kind of broke it up here. So this is C to D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So that right there, C all the way to C here, is the C major scale. Those are the 7 natural notes in music. And I wanted to also mention that I have 2 other videos on my channel laying out the notes on the guitar. So if you're not familiar with where the notes are on the guitar, I would recommend checking out either or both of those videos, and that would be very helpful for you to know how to read on the guitar. Also, I wanted to say that there's kind of 3 main aspects of reading, which is knowing where the notes are on your instrument, knowing where the notes are on the page, and then the rhythmic value of the notes and the rests. So those are kind of like the 3 big aspects of reading music that you need to get control of. So, okay. Right, so the C major scale, starting from C up to C here. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. All right, and then I wrote this out all the way to the note A up here. So basically you're at C here, and then that's that space there. Up to the next line is D, the next space is E, that last line there is F, after F is G, after G is A. Alright, and that's called a ledger line. When there's a note above, this is the staff, by the way, this is called the staff. When there's a note above the staff with a line through it, or multiple lines through it, or a note below the staff with a line through it, those are called ledger lines. Okay, and so basically, I just wrote it out from C up to A here, just because that's a really good range to get control of. There are notes that exist below this and notes that exist above this note, but if you get from this C to this A, if you get that range down, then that's going to cover a lot of ground for you to be able to read. And there's multiple books that you can get that are devoted to developing sight reading skills. So what I wanted to do is just lay out the notes that are on that page there on the guitar in a very kind of controlled manner, which spells out the C major scale. And like I mentioned in those videos with finding the notes on the guitar, the 7 notes that we're outlining, like I said, is the C major scale. So that's 7 out of the 12 notes that exist in the chromatic scale. So the other 5 are the sharps and the flats, which I'm definitely going to have to get to that stuff and other aspects of reading in another video, but hopefully this video would just kind of get things up and running for you. And yeah, so starting on C here on the 3rd fret, okay, with your 2nd finger, make sure this is close enough so you can see it. And yeah, so we're going to go C to D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, right there, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C covers from C up to this C here. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Now, these, I broke it up because I wanted to just show where the spaces are and where the lines are, but, you could write it out where it goes right in a row here, obviously. C, D would be right here, E, F on that first space, G, A, B, and then C on the next line here. Okay, so that takes us up to this C right here. Now, when you get to that C, with your pinky here, then D on the B string, E, F, G, and A. This A here on the 5th fret, high E string, is the highest note on that page. So if you get that sort of mapped out for yourself, that's a really good zone for you to just kind of stick to on the guitar when first learning how to read, because you can really see the notes, and plus it's just good for fingering and stuff. And that's what I would recommend, is starting in a little zone on the guitar, because the thing is with the guitar is you can play the notes in multiple places, and so it can get confusing about where am I supposed to play the notes. And I wanted to mention that on the guitar, see, this is middle C right here, which on the guitar you want to play the notes an octave lower than you would on the piano because of the range of the instrument. So middle C on the guitar, a lot of times anyways, is played right here, whereas on the piano it would be this C. And if you, I wanted to show you guys a, you know, this is a lead sheet, and it's, you know, I just have this song All of Me pulled up here. And getting a songbook like this, where it's just chords and melody, you know, it just has the chords above and then the melody below. Any kind of songbooks like these are great for reading or just learning how to read music. And if you're into learning jazz tunes, then this is the real book, which has hundreds and hundreds of tunes in it that you can learn and practice. But getting a songbook like this with fairly simple melodies, that's the nice thing about this. Not all the tunes, but a lot of the tunes, the notes, they're not, it's not a lot of activity with the notes. So it can be really a useful way to learn how to read. There's also, like I said, sight reading books that you can buy that will just kind of get you reading in a very kind of systematic way. Berklee College of Music has a series of books, I think, and you know, if you just look up sight reading books, they're usually pretty cheap, and they're great for just, you know, like I said, just, you know, getting those chops going. One thing I would recommend, I'll leave you guys with in this video, is just taking a book and without your instrument and just reading the notes, just saying, oh, that's a C, that's a D, that's an F, that's a G, so on and so forth. Yeah, so like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to get to more about sight reading, because this is just about, you know, getting the notes on the guitar, where they are on the page, and just kind of thinking about it and getting that going for you guys. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please let me know. If you'd like me to do a part 2, which I'm thinking about doing anyways, let me know about that. And I hope this was helpful and not confusing, and I'll talk to you guys in the next lesson. All right, thanks a bunch.